Hi everyone, I'm Attorney Poonam Minhas. I practice U.S. immigration law all over the United States. Today's topic is going to be about updates under President Trump's administration, and this time it's going to cover November 2025 to February 2026. Before I jump into today's topic, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy today's video, please hit that like button at the end of the video. And if you are interested in learning more about U.S. immigration law, hit that notification button because every time I post a video, you will get to know about it. All right, now again, I have one more thing I wanted to say before I jump into the topic. I have already posted videos from before that cover the current administration's updates, and they are listed in the description section. The links are there, so it's easier for you to go. So please, after this video, do check them out so you can learn about the other updates that I had posted under the Trump administration from the beginning of 2025 up until November 2025. So the first update is from November 27, 2025, when USCIS decided to implement additional national security measures. So what does that mean? So based on the situation that occurred with the National Guards in Washington, D.C., they have been instructed to now take additional security measures and vet foreign nationals from high-risk countries when processing their applications. I have put the link in the description section so you could check out that announcement. So the next update is from December 2nd, 2025, when USCIS issued a 4-page policy memorandum. And this one is very extensive. It talks about foreign nationals who are from any country who have asylum applications pending, and certain applications are being put on hold and not being issued a decision because they want to make sure that they review everything carefully. On top of that, there are foreign nationals from certain high-risk countries who have applied for other immigration benefits, and those applications are being screened carefully, and a proper review is trying to be conducted before issuing a decision. The policy memorandum also dives into individuals who have already been approved applications, and these are foreign nationals who came into the United States as of January 20, 2021 and onwards. So there may be a possibility that if an applicant who came during that time frame has an approved application already, then USCIS may do a re-examination of that. They may call the individual in for another interview or an initial interview if it was approved without conducting an interview. So that could be possible. I do have the link in the description section if you want to read the 4-page memorandum and see if this, implies to anyone that you may know. Now let's talk about one of the hottest topics that had come out last year, and this was December 4, 2025. So for quite some time, there were work permits being issued by USCIS with a validity period of 5 years, meaning that when you're issued a work permit, the expiration was 5 years from the time it was issued. Now, USCIS came out with a new policy saying, well, we're not going to do that anymore for certain categories of the work permit documents. We are now going to scrap the 5 years and issue work permits for an 18-month period. All right, well, now you're probably wondering, well, I got a 5-year work permit, right? So I have this and it's valid and everything is good. Does that impact me? So it doesn't impact individuals who have already been approved, but it does impact individuals who have pending work permit applications or have filed their application with USCIS as of December 5th, 2025 onward. So it may impact those individuals. And I do have that policy in the description section if you want to take a look at it. So please do check that out. I know that was one of the most talked about situations because it was scrapping off the validity period for the certain categories from 5 years to 18 months. December 12, 2025, USCIS decided that they're now going to issue a new policy for photos. What does that mean? That they're pretty much going to limit the age or the years a photo may be used. I have that information in the description section if you want to check it out. But do understand that if you are in the process of filing an application where you need to take passport size photos and submit them with the application, it is highly recommended that you read the instructions that are on the USCIS website if you are navigating cases yourself. If you have an attorney, then, work with your attorney to see if passport size photos are needed for your case. But this is now mostly focused on, hey, now we are going to try to stop immigration fraud by making sure that this policy goes into effect. And we want to make sure that there's enhanced identity verification. That's what they're calling it. Enhanced identity verification for the purposes of this new photo policy. So please do check that out. If you require more information on it, it's definitely in the description section. So the final update is from January 14, 2026. And it is not from USCIS, it's actually from the State Department. So Department of State decided that effective January 21st, 2026, foreign nationals from these 75 countries are not going to be issued immigrant visas. So those immigrant visas are going to be placed on hold or a pause. And what is the Department of State going to do? They're going to review policies, regulations, the cases to see if the foreign national is at high risk. High risk for what? Well, high risk for whether they are likely to get welfare in the United States, they're likely to become a public charge. And look, if you're navigating through these cases by yourself, do try to get as much information as possible, because there have been reports that interviews are still being conducted, but there's an indefinite pause on the issuance of the immigrant visa. Certain visas are probably exempt from this, and if you want to see if you are part of that exception or exemption, you will have to discuss this with an attorney to see whether this applies to you or not. But the bottom line is the State Department has been instructed that they're not going to lift the pause until they have instructions to do so. But yes, interviews are being scheduled and they're happening, but the issuance of the actual immigrant visa is on pause. So I have the information in the description section so you could see which of those 75 countries are listed and who does this impact and what are the guidelines that have been given to the Department of State, which is up on their website, so you can educate yourselves and see what can happen. I wanted to wrap up this topic and just quickly say that please make sure that nothing in this video is construed as legal advice. This is just for informational purposes only. I wanted to provide you with updates that were provided by USCIS and Department of State from November 2025 up until now. And I do want to say that certain situations may be under litigation. There are organizations or attorneys that are filing court cases, and certain matters might be under litigation. So please do check to see if that applies to any of your matters. I did not discuss it in this video, but that is something I did want to bring to your attention. Now, I also want to say, thank you so much if you have been watching me thus far. If you enjoyed today's topic, please like the video and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing definitely helps, and if you hit the bell icon, you will get to know, hey, Poonam posted another video, and I get to learn more about U.S. immigration law and the current update. Thank you so much.